it now. Well, Hogan here, Punch Out Boxing. Delighted to be here once again with Opetaia all the way from down under, unless you've flown to Riyadh already.
No, we're still home, still on the Gold Coast.
Wicked, lucky you. As you can tell, here in England it's freezing, so I've had to keep my woolly hat on. You're clearly still in beach mode, so yeah, enjoy. And I believe congrats are in order. You got your first child on the way?
Yeah, first one, man. I'm expecting around early July. So
All
still
right.
happening.
I hope you don't become too mellow when the baby arrives. That sometimes happens with guys.
Yeah, we'll be right. We'll be right.
So, Jai, as I'm sure you know, and I'm probably sick of hearing, your name's got dragged into all sorts of drama, gossip about this upcoming fight and training schedule. But after that postponement in February, obviously you've had now a lot longer to finally get this rematch on with BREIDIS. How's the training been going? Has the disruption with all the travel back and forth, did that bother you, or are you just taking it in your stride now?
No, nothing. It's all been positive, man. We've been learning, we've been growing. I feel like I'm in a great shape, probably the best shape I've ever been in. I feel fit, strong. I'm ready to go.
Hmm So obviously I spoke to Breedis when you was in London for the Thompson fight. He actually thought I was part of your camp. Yeah, I'll take that as a compliment. But a lot of people think it's a Samoan, but I'm not. But yeah, he didn't fancy another trip far afield. Do you think the fact that you've already been to Riyadh, got comfortable there, that might work against him? Don't think at his age he likes traveling.
Ah, man, honestly, I don't even think about it. I'm not worried about what's making him comfortable or uncomfortable. I'm just worried about my own camp, my own team, and worried about my own performance on the fight night.
Hmm I mean, going back to that first fight, I think it's fair to say it was your hardest fight, first foray into world level, and people forget Breedis. He's been one of the great cruiserweights. His team, his management especially said, well, Breedis did rally late, and they say the first round of this is going to be round 13. It's fair to say that, especially as it's probably his last chance saloon for him to hit the big time. You're going to have to actually up your level, because it might just be that he rallied late because he started to work some of your moves out.
All good. We'll be ready. You know, uh, let's fucking do it. Round 13. I'll be ready. I'm ready for anything he brings to the table. You know,
Hmm
he's really under. Bro, I'm not that young kid I was 2 years ago. You know what I mean? I've progressed into a great fighter. I've got more strength, more fitness. I feel like he's going to have a rude shock. Even that whole fight that I fought him here on the Gold Coast, it wasn't about knockouts or like I wasn't chasing power shots. You know what I mean? I just was going to outscore him. But if he feels like he's going to come forward and bully me, man, he's going to walk straight on the shots.
hmm You don't strike me as someone who's ever had a shortage in confidence in yourself, but one, is it true the old cliche that once you've become a world champion, your confidence level it goes up several notches?
My confidence comes from the work I put in.
Hmm
You know what I mean? That's why I believe in myself. That's why I back myself walking into this ring. I know I've done everything to win. I know. I'm telling you now, I honestly think it is impossible for him to match me in the gym week to week unless he's on performance enhancing drugs. Him at 49 years old, if I'm waking up sore at 28, you understand? Like 28 years old, I'm pushing my body out, grinding hard every day, like fucking chasing pain. You know what I mean? Like in the deep waters. And if
hmm
I'm doing that at 28 and waking up sore and I'm doing it purely off ticker, I don't take none of those drug shit. And if I'm doing that and he's trying to match me at, fuck, what is he, 38, 39. You know what I mean? He can't. You can't do it when you get to that age, you know, unless he's on performance enhancing drugs. And I'm not trying to disrespect him, you know. I know he was working hard. I know he's pushing himself, and I know he digs deep. He has to. He's been a world champion for such a long time. He's a very respectable fighter. You know what I mean? But I just know how hard I work. I know how deep I dig when I'm in the gym. You know, today I'm coming off a 3-session day today into a recovery center and then ended in a massage. Like, I've had 5 deposits today in one day. You know what I mean? Like, I'm taking off more in one day than people do in fucking 3 days. You know what I mean? So that's where my confidence comes from. I live and breathe it. This is the only thing that matters to me right now. You know, like, winning these fights is all that matters.
Yeah, indeed. I wonder, obviously last time you got a broken jaw for your trouble. Is there an element where you want payback? Like, yeah, okay, you got me some good shots. This time I want to hurt you bad.
There is a little bit, you know, if I think you, like, obviously I would fucking like to get him back in that, but honestly, the win's my payback. All I got to do is win. Once my hand's raised at the end of the fight, nothing else matters. You know, that's all I'm thinking of, is just winning the fight in style. Like, I'm just pumped up to go, you know.
Yeah, indeed, and so you should be. Well, obviously, last time the fight with Zorro was all over before it, barely broke sweat. Ideally, would you have liked to have had a few more rounds, or is it irrelevant at this point?
Well, it is what it is. You know, we got the early knockout. I'm happy I get to roll straight into another fight. Um, you know, it's all good. We've been there before. You know, we don't need the rounds under our belt. We've, you know, like I said, we're training extremely hard. So whether I would have done it in the first round or the 12th round, it doesn't make me any more prepared for this fight.
Indeed. How much do you reckon you've come on, as you said, from the Opetaia that beat BREIDIS 2 years ago? How much percentage do you think you've improved?
You know, I don't know about the percentages and numbers, but I feel good. You know, I feel strong. I feel fit. I feel like I'm just rolling into my peak now. You know, like just the athlete I was, and even just my base is a lot better now. You know, like my base where I'm starting my camps, so I'm able to progress more. You know what I mean? Because I don't let myself go anymore. We just live this lifestyle now. So, you know, this boxing game is all that matters to me right now. I've got this small window to really capitalize on it. You know, so I'm not wasting any time.
Yeah, being part of this Riyadh season really helps. As you said, it's got you those 3 showcase fights, hopefully, over there in Riyadh, and really get your name out there. If I can just circle back to, like I said, some of the gossip. I think you were considered the culprit for Fury's cut, because I get the impression you're not someone who goes into anyone's camp and is overawed by, their superstar status or whatever. Is that your sparring style? When you go sparring, do you sort of go in hard, whoever it is, or do you have the sort of approach, well, actually, I'm here just to learn, just to work on some stuff, and if I need to keep it limited, I'll keep it limited. Different people have different way of sparring.
Yeah. You know, when it's big sparring like that, obviously it's a level up. So, you know, we got to stay switched on, and you know, we're there to earn respect too. You know, we're in the ring with, you know, heavyweight world champion. So, you know, we want to leave that camp, and we want them to know my name by the time we leave. You know, so, and I don't mean that, you know, I mean that respectfully. Like, and I feel like that's what we did. But yeah, when it comes to sparring, I sort of just go off other people's energy as well. You know, like, I'm not a bully, you know, but fuck, I still like to have a good crack when we spar. But you know, in saying that, I'm not just taking people's heads off for the fun of it. It's not my style.
Sure. Well, was that the first time you've sparred a top level super heavyweight? You know, those exceptionally large size guys.
Um, I've I sparred with Andy Ruiz when I was only a young kid, like getting ready for the Olympic Games. I went over to Vegas and I moved around with him. He was good rounds. Like he gave me my flowers too. But I seen him at Riyadh, and I go, "Oh, bro, you remember me, Vegas?" He was like, "Nah." I was pretty cut out. I
Mhm.
was like, "Ah, well, fuck you." I was taking it out. But yeah, I've sparred with him. As an amateur, we've traveled all over the world as well. Like I've sparred with so many great fighters, and so it's just another day in the office, really.
Sure. Other than Fury, did you do any rounds with any of the other heavyweights that were in his camp?
Nah, they were all southpaws. That's
Hmm.
part of the reason why I had to leave the camp. It's because we needed to prepare for breeders. You know what I mean? We like Fury was 6'9". He was the only orthodox, and the rest were all southpaws. So, it was just. I don't want to say it wasn't beneficial because obviously there's still good rounds, but it wasn't the rounds that we needed for my camp, and we had to think about ourselves and what was going to benefit us. But honestly, if I wasn't fighting on the same fight night as Fury, and I could just stay there and I didn't have a fight to focus on, I would have stayed there the whole time. I would have, you know, soaked in all the experience and just being around other world champions and stuff like that. I would have loved to stay and sort of get that experience under my belt. But unfortunately, it didn't happen like that. I had to think about my own fight. So,
Absolutely, as you said, you still got plenty of work at cruiserweight. Just want to talk about that, the goings on in the division. There's another Londoner who I know you've had words from in the past because I'm sure union manager were fuming when he pulled out of that press conference. Sorry, purse bid last year. Richard RIYAKPORHE. He done a follow-on interview and decided to have a little dig at you, saying that he heard that you'd got roughed up in Fury's camp and that's why you went home. Did you hear him say that?
well, everyone said everything. Everyone. I've seen pages say they had footage of me dropping Fury. Like it's just everyone can say what they want, man. It means nothing. I was the one in the ring. I was getting the experience. There's nothing negative to come out of it. So it's all learning. It's all positive.
The fact that it's a RIYAKPORHE and he might be a future rival, gonna keep that in the back of your mind for if ever you two do get to square off. Because don't know if you know he's in line to fight for the WBO belt, which I know you'd love to get your hands on. And would you prefer to
Yeah.
fight him now for that if you can make him pay on two fronts?
Whoever, whoever has that WBO,
Mhm.
whoever's got that WBO, I'll fight them. I don't chase. I don't. I'm not interested in chasing names. I'm chasing belts.
Mhm. Yeah, indeed. Well, that'll hopefully be this summer. We might see you back. Did you see the other cruiserweight fight that happened recently? The Mexican Ramirez dethroned Gulamirian. Another potential fight. He's on the same platform as you on DAZN.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to fight him. I want to fight for the belts. Anyone who's got the belts, let's fight. You know what I mean? And otherwise, they're just giving me fill-in fights. If I can't make those, fighting for other belts happen, then they get me someone else. Like I honestly just fight whoever they put up, whoever's name they give me. That's who I got to take out. That's all I think about. This is nothing personal. Like I don't even personally know anyone. You know what I mean? This is a sport. I respect the sport, and anyone who I have to beat to provide for my fucking family, that's who I got to hurt. So let's do it.
Yes, indeed. You did predict last time out accurately. It was going to be 2-0 for Samoa, and you were right. Joe Parker. What a resurgence for him. Back to the top of the tree at heavyweight.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. It was good to see. Fucking so proud of him, bro. You can tell he's been training hard. You know, his body looks good. He looks fitter, stronger than what he did before, and he looks more switched on. You know, it's a good version of Joe Parker we're seeing at the moment, and you know, even his victory against Yang was awesome. So I'm excited to watch his next one. He's in a good spot at the moment. I think he's got good people around him, um, and I'm backing him all the way. You know, I'm
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's fair to say most of us love Joe. One of the great personalities of the sport. All right, Jai. Thank you so much for your time. No, you're hard at training, and last thing you want to do is talk to guys like us, but it all helps. Yeah, anything you want to add?
all good. Nah, all good, man. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Fab, I guess I will see you in about a month because I'm on my way to Riyadh as well. So we'll see you fight night.
I'll see you there.